So, what's up, everybody? This is Ajamu Bernard. I am founder of the Kettlebell Training Academy. This video here is from our boy TA down in Orlando, Florida. Better every day. If you guys haven't met TA, he is an awesome trainer, high-level football player, golfer, you name it, all-around super athlete. Anyway, part of my TRX master training team, TA asked me this awesome question. He said, how do you get proficient at kettlebells? It's a great question. It really helped me just boil things down to like some really simple systems. So TA, this video is for you, so you can get proficient at kettlebell training and you can like dominate the world like you already are. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is break things down into 3 parts. I'm going to give you guys a topic, as in like a skill set you need to work on, and then I'm going to give you guys some exercises that you can specifically do to get that skill set, and then I'm specifically going to tell you guys how to train that exercise and how many reps and sets you should be doing, and that's really, really important. Okay, so if there's a master frame here, it's train to 100. Okay, so that's what we use in the Kettlebell Training Academy when we're talking about our program design. So every single exercise, I'm going to give you something called the 100 test. In other words, I want you to see if you can do the exercise for 100 reps. And the reason for that, in a nutshell, is that it's going to force you to learn to get efficient and help you develop the skill. Okay, so don't do this stuff in sets of 25, do it in sets of 100, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets sometimes, depending on the exercise, and that will help you get really, really good. All right, you got it? So, part 1, kettlebell hands. All right, I gotta tie these in together. Kettlebell hands and kettlebell endurance kind of go hand in hand, no pun intended. And so, all right, here's where it starts. The exercise sequence I use to get people, so all right, when I say hands, what I really mean is grip strength and specific grip strength to handle momentum. In kettlebell lifting, the bell is moving backwards, forwards, it moves round and round when I do it, and so you have to have like this hooky grip in your fingers, okay? Not your palms, in your fingers. That's what you really want to get. Okay, so this is how I teach grip strength. Exercise number 1, hey. This is called the round the body sequence. All right, so it starts like this. You can do basics, right? So when I'm warming people up, I'll just do like, we call this a twist. And I may do this like 25 times per arm. And I'm doing kind of just get the wrist warm, elbows warm, shoulders warm. It's a really, really easy movement, okay? Then I'll do it kind of behind the back. I'm showing you guys the whole sequence, okay? Really fast. Then I'll switch hands. Okay, so imagine every single position I did 25. Okay, so I did 25 here. And then do 25 here. Okay, and then I'll switch back. And then I'm going to do 25 like this. This is kind of the pre-round the body warm-up series. Like, this is real fast, because I know you guys are super athletes and you'll get this real fast. Okay, so 25 like this, and then 25 in the other hand. Now, what you want to watch are the legs, the feet, the upper body, see how it stays square, and you're using your whole body to move the weight, okay? And the weight is sitting in your fingers. Fingers. See, now I'm switching hands in front. Okay, so, sets of 100. So right now we should be on like, well, this should be 100, so this is set 1. If you did all 4 of those and then you switched. So the big one is what we call around the body. Some people call this around the world, we call it around the body, okay? And so the idea is to use your whole body to just master the movement of the weight. And as you practice this, your fingers will get stronger, they'll get used to the weight. Now it won't work if you do it with a light weight, and it won't work if you do it for less than 100. I could give you more explanation, but come to my course. All right, so I would do like 50 in one direction, and I'll switch directions, and the 50 in the other direction. So this is the basic pattern. So let's say I did 100 like this. Then I could switch the pattern. I could add a figure 8 to the pattern. Okay? Figure 8's in the front. Again, learning how to use the legs and the hands. And you can start to sequence them together. So you go back and forth. Okay, it's supposed to be easy. You can step into something we call a one-legged circle. Into your figure eight. Other leg circle. Just keeping it interesting, keeping it fun. Okay, eventually you can start doing stuff like this. Figure eight to a catch. Now if you want a skill, that's fun. Call this a one loop. You can slow it down, see if you can catch it. Okay, so that sequence right there, that's called the around the body sequence. You want to be able to do that sequence for like 3 to 5 sets of 100 in a row. If you're lightweight or lady, 12 kilograms, 16 kilograms. If you're a guy or a heavyweight, 16 kilograms, 20 kilograms, 24 kilograms. Honestly, you should be able to do that with 100 with all of those weights, because it's not a hard exercise. Like when you're finished that exercise, you'll feel your body heat rising. You won't feel anything except for your hands. And you'll only feel your hands, like your hands hurting, if you have not developed good grip strength. So your 100 test for that one is to be able to do that for 3 sets of 100 with a 16 under 20. When you can do that, then you know you have at least a good foundation of grip strength in your fingers to handle a kettlebell. Okay, on to the next exercise in the good hands endurance sequence. So the next exercise that I really think is important for you guys to practice to get proficient in kettlebell lifting is called the bottoms up catch. This is, okay, in our courses we call this a short lever swing. In other words, okay, if this is the lever of your arm, we're going to shorten the lever because it just makes it easier. The idea in this exercise is that you're working on the back swing. And everybody worries about the swing. Okay, forget that. The back swing. If you own the back swing, you will be able to do any form of forward swing that you need to, whether you're cleaning, whether you're snatching, whatever. But you have to have a really good and comfortable and efficient backswing. So proficiency comes when you own the backswing. So you're going to use the same fingers that you did in the round the body series, and you're going to own those fingers. So your grip is going to be kind of like this at the bottom. Not in the palm. I don't care what they tell you. Not in the palm, buddy. It'll just, palms will mess up and create ugly calluses. So be in your fingers. That's what you want to do, okay? So from that position, all you're really going to do is you're going to work on back swing and then bring it to a position where you can catch it and you can hold it. So the purpose of this position is so that you can manage gravity. Gravity is consistent. It's not going anywhere. Your bones will help you manage gravity. So when you do it like this, it teaches you one thing. A, you can get more reps, which is how you're going to get your endurance up. And you're going to, you're learning the art of what we call staying under the weight. And so this is a concept that comes from kettlebell sport training, where the sets are longer. There's a special skill in your nervous system that's developed when you learn to stay under the weight. Okay, so still doing it sets of 100. This is your catch position. This is what's going to let you get to 100. So this is how we're going to work this one. So you're going to focus on back swing with your hinge, catch the weight. Back swing with the hinge, catch the weight. Back swing with the hinge, okay? And it's just that simple. You can speed up your tempo if you want. And you get tired, you just rest, okay? We'll talk about this rest position, this rack later, but this is really important to be able to rest and stay under the weight because your body is still working right now, okay? You can go 25, 50 or so, and then you can switch hands and just do the same thing. Again, from the perspective of kettlebell lifting, this is an easy exercise. It's a beginner exercise. So when you're developing proficiency, this is a good way to really work on the hinge that is the backswing. Okay, how to hinge at the hips, where the kettlebell should go, what it should feel like, and just finding a nice flow. Okay, and it's an easy way to just get to 100 and work on that backswing. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, you can start to vary this one by doing stuff like, you know, not catching the bell. Okay, eventually, this would turn into a clean. Okay, but that, let me just say, that would require a different video. Right now, the first skill you want to get is around the body, hands, and get a really good backswing. Okay, same weights, 16, 20, 24. They should be really, really easy. In your hands, you shouldn't feel it anywhere else. You guys know how to hinge? If you don't know how to hinge, you need to come to the TRX Foundational Movements course where we talk all about the hinge and show you guys how to use it. But a hinge is a hinge, right? So you're just staying grounded, chest tall, moving your plank, backswing. That's all what the bottom up catch is about. Okay, the third part of this part 1 series, as if that's not confusing, is owning the rack. Okay, so we talked about your grip strength, and then we talked about the backswing, and now we're going to talk about, well, the rack. So the rack has 2 parts to it. Part 1 is the insert. Okay, so how deep does your hand go in? Many people will teach a grip like that. I highly don't recommend that. It just leads to bad calluses, and it's just not efficient. Okay, I'm just going to put it that way. A better grip, best grip, is to get your hand all the way inside to the point where you don't need your fingers. Okay, so you literally should be able to like fold your fingers like that. Okay, it's going to be on the heel of your hand. You're literally going to feel the outside of the bell on the outside of your forearm. Okay, so that's what it should look like when it's in there properly. That's my hands open. That's my hands closed. You don't really need your fingers to hold the bell, so you're not gripping it. Like, if anything, I might do that, or I might do that, but there's no fingers in. So this insert position is what you're trying to learn to get comfortable with. Okay, so this is part 1 of the rack. Part 2 of the rack is where you put the bell. Your elbow goes on the bottom shelf, your hip shelf. Okay, so you're going to find it like this. You're going to squeeze your glutes, kind of tuck them forward, and you're essentially stacking up your forearm and your femur bone together. So a straight line. So I've moved my center of gravity out the way. My legs are locked, and I'm resting on my hip. Okay? This is the rack position. Got it? Got it? That's what it looks like. Okay? It's just that simple. It requires a little bit of flexibility. You may sometimes need to move around under it. I'm recommending that you practice this with 1 bell at a time first, because it's just easier for you to find. Like, if you have a bigger belly, maybe it's like that. If you have like boobs, maybe it's like that. Whatever it is, there's a shelf, the iliac crest, the top of your hips. You can find that, and you're trying to get your forearm bone over that, because that's your femur bone, and that's the bone you want holding the weight. When you're like this, your shoulder's holding the weight. That space there is wasted. It's just inefficient. You're holding with the wrong muscle, so you rest it on the shelf. Okay? So this is the rack position. You guys got to practice this. You got to get comfortable at this. You want to get comfortable at this before you do the clean. Okay? That's really important. Anyway, so once you're here now, front squats are quite simple. You're just going to practice sitting down into your squat, putting it back on the shelf. Sitting down into your squat, putting it back on the shelf. And it's just that simple, right? And you're still going to use your 100 test. So let's say you do like 20, 25 in this hand. You want to switch sides. So I'm going to use that bottoms up catch technique and bring it to the other arm. Reset my insert, put it back on the shelf.
Cool.
Sit, squat. Sit, squat. Once you get good at this, specifically this, and this starts to feel comfortable, then it is time for you to start to learn to clean. So let me be clear. To get proficient, the most important things right now are your fingers around the body, your backswing, bottoms up catch, and your wrist strength, which is the front squat. Those are your first 3 you got to knock out. Once you get those, then you can start to think about doing the insert. I'm going to do a separate video on that. That's going to be part 3. Okay, I'm going to show you now just in case you want to work on it early. But it kind of looks like this, where you roll your hand in. Roll your hand in. Okay, that is, so notice I'm using my back swing and I'm inserting my hands. Back swing, inserting my hands. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now. Okay, but really the key things is your front squat right now to get the wrist strength so that this is a comfortable position so that when you start doing this, you can work on that skill without worrying about the pain of not being conditioned to handle that. Make sense? Beautiful. I love you. Do it. Sets to 100.